talking about Michigan baseball coach Eric Bakich. Coach, good morning. All right, we lost Coach Bakich. We'll get Coach B back on the line. That must be him calling back in now, 7:31 on a Wednesday. It does give me the opportunity to tell you that Suburban is the place with the great lease deals on Chevys, on Cadillacs. Great used car inventory as well. Over 11 acres makes the guys out. It makes the lot over at Suburban the largest around, and the service, the sales and service, the best around. You can always go to suburbanannarbor.com and check them out. But even if you can't make it out, you can certainly check out all the lease deals and the lease details at suburbanannarbor.com and take advantage of their great service specials as well. One of the greatest service departments around. And they sell tires, all makes and models. Be sure to check the prices and selection at Suburban before you go any place else, because they offer the 30-day tire price guarantee. What that means is if you go to Suburban and buy select tires and you find a cheaper price within 30 days, they will refund you the difference. So Suburban, Chevrolet, Cadillac, in Ann Arbor, make the choice. And now we have Coach Bakich on the line. Coach B, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Sorry about that. I think that Suburban cut my connection.
And it could be this weather that we're dealing with up here, Coach. But definitely the weather is treating you guys right, as you are really, from a winning perspective, got that good taste back in your mouths. You swept Siena. You took out Stetson yesterday and got some really, really strong performances. But let's just start off. Let's go in order and go with that first two-game tilt. The first day against Siena, where, man, Travis Mazey's got you off to a really, really good start against him.
Yeah, his reinsertion back into the lineup has been a huge lift for our team. He's one of the best hitters in the country. And we were down a couple runs kind of going into the middle innings, and he comes in and hits a 3-run bomb to take the lead. And then we kind of never looked back in that game there. But that's just where his presence in the lineup, not only can he help us out with the bat, but just the way the other guys around him get pitched and just what it does for the entire lineup is a huge lift having him back.
Yeah, and, we could talk about Jackson Glines in every single one of these games. He's been recognized Big Ten Player of the Week. He's steady Eddie for you, Coach. You can count on him. Seems like to get a hit or get on base in every single game, and that certainly was the case from game one on against Siena.
Yeah, he's earned the nickname Glide Drives for a reason, and he calls himself the human laser show. So I wouldn't disagree with him. Seems like everything he hits is on the barrel, and everything he hits is on the line. And the results are falling for him. He's having a ton of quality at bats. And when you hit balls hard all the time, a lot of them are going to fall, and they've been falling for him about half the time. So it's been great. It's been a huge boost for us as well. All
right, so, Coach, you go to the nightcap. You win that first game 6-2. 6-0 in the nightcap, and your sophomore Keith Lehman was outstanding. Just 2 hits over 6 innings that he pitched where he was really, really good.
Yeah, it's all about growth. I think any coach will tell you that. You just want to get better as you keep going, and for Keith, that's been exactly the case. Each week he's gotten better and better with his performance, and he had command of 4 pitches, and his tempo was good, and really he was just attacking the strike zone the whole time. He's minimal walks and very efficient with his pitches, and just did a nice job. Nice job just holding them down and allowing our offense to separate with a little breathing room.
All right, so, Coach, you come back that next day, and, you're pretty good at putting 6 runs up. 6-4 in that first game against Siena the next day. Kind of take us through that one.
Yeah, we got off to a sluggish start that morning. It was an early morning game. It was time adjusted because of the weather from the previous day, and Siena had a flight they had to catch, so we had to start the game early, and we were there mentally. I just don't think our physical play really showed up until about the 5th inning, and we were down. I figure we were down 3-0 or 4, maybe even 3 or 4-0, and the guys just kind of got themselves together and decided to turn it up a little bit and get a little bit tougher and have a little bit more of an urgency about them. And They put up 5 runs that inning to take the lead. We tacked another one on the next inning and, never looked back. So overcame an early deficit. Those 7 innings, all the games with Siena were 7 innings because the way the weather had shortened everything, playing 2 double headers on each, on those 2 days. And so, in 7-inning games, you really have to have a bit of an urgency. They had a really good left-hander in their pen, and fortunately for us, they went to that guy, and we were able to string some quality at-bats together and have a big inning.
Yeah, and Jackson's lines again, Coach. He tied the game with a single to right, and you guys didn't look back. Like I said, we could talk about him in every single game. Did want to mention the youngster that we talked about, and you said you made him. He's a reliever. That's what he does. Jackson Lamb earned a win on the mound, striking out 1 batter in relief.
Yeah. Lambo has done a nice job of just the biggest difference with him, besides the increased velocity and making the switch to full-time pitcher, is his command. In high school, you can get away with pitching up in the zone and walking the bases loaded and then striking everybody out. You don't really have that luxury with each level that you go up. And he's done a nice job of attacking the strike zone and really being able to throw his fastball where he wants to. And with his 6'8" frame, being able to throw it at the bottom of the strike zone really gives him an advantage because he's throwing downhill. And he's just done a nice job. He's throwing it up there, running it up there 93 miles an hour. That's about where he was sitting on when he pitched on Sunday. And just look good coming out of his hand.
We're talking to Michigan baseball coach Eric Bakich here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. So, Coach, you get into the 4th game of the tilt against Siena, and you got a gem from Brett Adcock in that game. Complete game performance, struck out 11 in that game. I mean, I'm looking at the stats, and it sounds like he looked really good. How was it to see him pitch that day?
It was dominant, without no way about it. It was dominant. He had 4 pitches going. He got better as the game went on. His last inning was his highest velocity of the day. He had everything working from his pitch arsenal. Of his 11 strikeouts, 10 of them were looking. So he just had them completely off balance. And really, it was about him. It was about him really just getting into a groove mentally and physically. And, again, it's about getting better each week. And he got a lot better. And for him, it's, he missed a lot of the fall just rehabbing the knee surgery that he had over the summer. So, these first few weekends, it's kind of been his opportunity to really get back into the groove.
All right, so that you win that contest 11-0 behind his 11 strikeouts, and then you finish out that tilt with a game against Stetson. You won that game yesterday 6-3, and a freshman that you told us about a few weeks ago to preview the season that we were going to hear from. We heard from him yesterday, Coach. Drew Lugbauer doubled 3 times in that contest and scored a pair of runs.
Yeah, Drew's a good player, and he's had maybe the worst luck in college baseball this year. It doesn't help that we've played in maybe the 3 of the biggest ballparks in America with, center field fences 420, 440 feet away. I mean, just massive ballparks. And Drew's a power hitter, and he has hit more balls to the track in these parks. If we were playing at home, I'm sure a lot of people can say if this, then that. But he would probably have 4 or 5 home runs already, but they've just turned into loud outs that are just a long way away. And he's had good quality at bats. Batting average hasn't shown the results of the quality of his at bats, but he had it going last night, and he was going line to line. He doubled down the left field line. He doubled down the right field line. He doubled in the right center gap on another ball that would have been well out of our park, but the wind was blowing straight in, and he crushed it. But he gave us a good spark last night. We scored 6 runs, and he accounted for 3 of them with 2 runs scored and an RBI. And not to mention he did a terrific job behind the plate, made a lot of tough blocks with runners on base. Just a very good breakout performance for that guy.
And a couple of guys really quick to mention, Coach, before we look ahead to how you're going to finish out your spring trip. We talked a lot about Jackson's lines. He's been stellar, but 2 guys who just their names keep popping up there. They've been really consistent for you as well. Eric Jacobson and Carmen Benedetti, they've been guys. It looks like you can rely on early in this season.
Well, Eric Jacobson, like I've said before, we don't have enough time in the show for me to tell you all the great things about Eric Jacobson and the character and the intangible leadership skills that he brings to this team. But his reliability, consistency has been off the charts, making the transition of playing shortstop this year, with Travis missing 5 games and Jacobson sliding over to shortstop. He's done an incredible job. And he has made some terrific contributions offensively as well, hitting, ton of quality at bats. His batting average is now reflective of him just being steady in the 9-hole, getting base hits from left field line to right field line, moving runners along, bringing runners in. He had 2 RBIs again last night, playing lockdown defense at shortstop, making all the routine plays, which is all you can ask for. And he's just done a great job. And Carmen Benedetti has emerged as a two-way player. He pitched to one hitter last night through one pitch at 94 miles an hour on the radar gun reading on the scoreboard. And offensively, he has been very consistent as well. We're hitting him in the cleanup spot, and he just makes a lot of hard contact. The guy just did a good job being tough in the box and having quality at bats. He seems to do that over and over and over again. I like our lineup. In years past, you're trying to figure out how you're going to get some performance out of 6, 7 guys because you're going to get it out of 2 or 3 guys. And this year that's kind of flipped. We're getting consistent performances from 6, 7 guys throughout that lineup every single day.
Yeah, and Coach, so you move on to the Coastal Carolina Invitational. You're taking on UMBC, Toledo, Coastal Carolina, and Akron. Rather than talk about each of those teams, you go into these trips, especially a spring trip like this, with objectives. What's been behind when you look at the team, what they've done thus far, behind what you've seen on the field, their growth? What have you seen improvement-wise? And then, as you talk to them about closing this thing out right, what are you stressing to the guys?
Well, the biggest adjustment these guys made, we had a team meeting on last Tuesday, and we had really the worst stretch in a 23-hour period you could have, where we dropped 3 games in 23 hours last weekend, and we just had to put that behind us and flush it. And again, like I told you last week, the guys are just holding the ball too tight, squeezing the bat too hard, and just trying a little bit too hard, putting a little bit too much pressure on themselves. So the focus this week has been more about, just get back to playing the game, enjoying the competition and allowing themselves to enjoy it and doing it for the guy to their left and the guy to their right, and not really, obviously we want the outcome to take care of itself, but we got to focus on other things like having quality at bats, making quality pitches, those types of things. And so the toughness level of our guys on the mound, in the box, has really, really been improved, as well as, just seeing the smiles on their faces and just them going out there and having a good time. We train as hard as we do. You want them to treat the games like that field is just one giant playground, mm-hmm. where they can just get out and go out there and have a great time and get after it. And that's what they've done. That's been the focus. Told them last night we dominated Florida. The trip isn't over. We got some things to take care of in South Carolina, and we're going to finish this thing off the right way. And we're not satisfied. We're not complacent. We're going to keep getting better and look to really have a terrific spring break trip. And it starts with UMBC on Friday.
All right. Well, Coach, appreciate you taking the time with us. Enjoy that weather, and we will talk to you again coming up next week.
Oh, Sam, we're definitely going to enjoy the weather. I promise you that.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. That was Michigan baseball coach Eric Bakich.